Welcome to Chris Distills Himself. I'm Chris and this is my clarity. So I'm recovering from 20 years of alcohol abuse and other drugs, but alcohol has really been the main cause for concern over 20 years. And something which is very true about alcohol and alcoholism is at some stage, and I don't know if this is true for others, but at some stage I normalised drinking and normalised alcohol and was really quite blind to the negative side effects that alcohol was having to me because I didn't accept it as a problem. Now, the AA's first step is acceptance, and I think that is a really important one because there's actually two sides to acceptance. There's accepting that you drink and accepting that you're an alcoholic. And that can actually have two meanings. The first meaning, which I was in for years, was, yeah, damn right I'm an alcoholic. I accept an alcoholic. I accept I'm an alcoholic and I'm going to make sure that I live being an alcoholic, i.e. allowing myself to drink to oblivion and normalising that I was an alcoholic. I had accepted that I was an alcoholic. Therefore, I would allow myself to drink to oblivion, and I'm not going to stop drinking because I'm an alcoholic. As crazy as that logic is, that's one of the sides of acceptance, which I was stuck in for years. And I actually got a kick out of going out and drinking, saying, I'm an alcoholic. Let's get another beer in. Let's have another drink. Oh, are you an alcoholic? Oh, great. Let's get absolutely twatted together. And I ended up in ridiculous situations over the years. As you know, birds of a feather flock together. And I ended up with serious, hardcore drinking friends. And guess what? They were alcoholics and they accepted they were alcoholics. So you end up in a situation where you look at your friend group and everyone that you're hanging around with is an alcoholic. So that is the first side of the coin of acceptance. And it's not acceptance in the way that AA teaches it. Certainly not. It's accepting you're an alcoholic to get absolutely obliterated and allowing yourself to get completely screwed because you're an alcoholic and you've accepted you're an alcoholic. So the second part of acceptance, which I have accepted now, is the right acceptance, and it's the acceptance of I'm an alcoholic and I need to stop drinking, because that is obviously how you should operate if you're an alcoholic. If you're an alcoholic, like I am, then you have to accept you're an alcoholic and that you should not and cannot drink. Because if you do drink, it will be oblivion. And over the last 20 years, I had many opportunities to take the correct acceptance, and I didn't accept it fully until my last rock bottom. And when I say last rock bottom, I hope and I pray, and I know deep down that was my last rock bottom out of many rock bottoms, because it wasn't the worst experience overall. Well, it was, but I'd had worse. But it was the one which finally kicked me into sobriety. And I'm only on day 125, so I'm by no means far along the sobriety path, but I'd never got this far before, so something really has changed. But the acceptance that I had for many years previously to that was accepting that I was an alcoholic. Isn't it great? Let's get absolutely arseholed. And that is the wrong type of acceptance. So there's definitely two types of acceptance. There's the acceptance where you accept you're an alcoholic and therefore you drink and you allow yourself to drink, and actually you end up drinking more and more and more because you've accepted you're an alcoholic. And then there's the acceptance of being an alcoholic and not needing to drink. Or not drinking. There's the acceptance of not drinking. That's what I'm trying to say. There's the acceptance you're an alcoholic, and then the acceptance that you're an alcoholic and you need to stop drinking, not continue drinking. So as twisted as the sort of acceptance logic could be, or is, I don't think I'm alone in saying that you're an alcoholic and you're still drinking really, really heavily. And if anything, it means that you can drink more and more and more because you've accepted you're an alcoholic. You can have a morning drink because you've accepted you're an alcoholic. You can black out because you've accepted you're an alcoholic. You know, you can have personal injuries, as I've had many, some life-threatening, because of alcohol, but that's okay because I'm an alcoholic. Because I've accepted I'm an alcoholic, it doesn't really matter what the consequences are because I've accepted I'm an alcoholic. So there's definitely the two parts of acceptance. Both are accepting them, but one is acting in the right way, not in the wrong way. So there's a subtle difference there. But I was shielding my drinking. It was encapsulated within the alcoholic badge. It was like a badge of honor because I'm an alcoholic. Therefore, I'm allowed to drink because I'm an alcoholic. I've accepted I'm an alcoholic. Drinking in the morning for work, drinking during the day, no problem. I'm an alcoholic. That's what alcoholics do. And then some of the incidents that have happened in the last few years and rock bottoms have been crazy, which I would be here for hours talking about them. But at one stage I will do. But now that I've been sober for 125 days, I can see finally that I've got the right acceptance, not the wrong acceptance. The wrong acceptance, as I've already said many times, is saying, oh, that's great, I'm an alcoholic, therefore that allows me to get completely obliterated. But yeah, if I can get sober, literally anyone can. And I'm by no means a saint at the moment. I'm only on day 125. But I'm just going to keep going and keep uploading videos about my recovery journey. But yeah, 125 days sober, just taking it every day at a time, really. There's no other way to do it.